There are 5 things you're pouring down your kitchen drain right now that are destroying your pipes from the inside out, not slowly, not over decades. Within months, each one builds a layer of hardened residue that narrows your pipe diameter by 30 to 50%, traps organic matter, breeds anaerobic bacteria, and produces the damp, rancid odor that rises from your drain every time the kitchen is quiet. Not one plumber who has ever visited your home has told you to stop. Not one branded drain product under your sink addresses the cause. Not one home maintenance guide sold at any hardware store lists these 5 substances by name and explains what they do to the inside of a pipe at the molecular level. Because the global plumbing maintenance and drain cleaning industry generates over $50 billion a year. Every slow drain is a service call. Every service call is $150 to $500. Every clear drain reclogs within 6 to 12 months because the homeowner keeps pouring the same 5 substances down the same pipe. The cycle never ends because it was never designed to end. A plumber who tells you what these 5 substances are and how to avoid them permanently eliminates the need for his next visit. A drain product manufacturer who explains the chemistry eliminates the need for the next bottle. And an industry that profits from recurring blockages has zero incentive to teach you the 5 behaviors that cause every single one of them. They did not hide this because the information is complex. They buried it because it is devastatingly simple. Stop pouring 5 things down your drain, and you will never need a plumber for a clogged kitchen line again. This is the story of the 5 substances that account for over 90% of residential drain blockages, and the one list of $50 billion industry praise you never read. If these stories matter to you, the subscribe button and the bell are the best way to make sure this knowledge survives. And if you want the complete protocol with all 80 hacks that save households over $4,000 a year, the link is in the description. Now let me walk you through all 5, starting with the one that causes more service calls than the other 4 combined. The first substance is cooking grease, fats, and oils. This one sounds obvious until you understand the chemistry that makes it so destructive. When hot liquid grease hits the cooler walls of your drain pipe, the triglyceride molecules solidify on contact and adhere to the pipe surface. Each subsequent grease pour deposits another microscopic layer on top of the existing coating. Over weeks and months, the buildup thickens into a dense, waxy mass that narrows the pipe opening from every direction simultaneously. Food particles, soap residue, and organic debris passing through the drain get trapped in the sticky grease layer and incorporated into the mass. Professional plumbers call the resulting blockages fatbergs, and municipal sewer systems have extracted grease formations the size of small vehicles from residential collection lines. In your home, the result is a slow drain that worsens progressively, a persistent odor from anaerobic bacteria metabolizing the organic material trapped in the grease, and eventually a complete backup that floods your kitchen floor. A professional hydrojet service to clear a grease-clogged residential line costs between $300 and $1,000. If the buildup has been accumulating long enough to cause pipe corrosion, replacement costs reach several thousand. The fix costs 30 seconds. Let grease cool and solidify in the pan. Scrape it into a container. Throw it in the trash. Wipe residual oil with a paper towel before washing. That single habit eliminates the #1 cause of residential drain failure. The second substance is the one that should make you angry, because the industry sells it to you as a solution, while it destroys the pipes it claims to protect. Chemical drain cleaners. The branded bottles sitting under millions of kitchen sinks right now, marketed as a quick fix for slow drains, work by generating an intense chemical reaction that reaches temperatures close to 200 degrees Fahrenheit inside your pipe. That heat is what dissolves the immediate clog. It's also what destroys your plumbing from the inside. In older metal pipes, the caustic sodium hydroxide accelerates corrosion with every application. In PVC plastic pipes, the extreme heat softens and warps the pipe walls, weakening joints and creating leak points that may not appear for months, and the product rarely clears the entire blockage. It burns a narrow channel through the center of the clog, enough to restore water flow temporarily, while the bulk of the obstruction remains bonded to the pipe walls. The drain slows again within weeks. You pour more chemical. The pipe takes more damage. The cycle continues until entire sections need replacement at $2,000 to $5,000. The plumbing industry sells you an $8 bottle that creates the damage justifying the $2,000 repair. That is not a product failure, that is a business model. A $20 drain snake from the hardware store physically removes blockages without touching the pipe walls. A monthly flush of washing soda dissolved in boiling water saponifies grease buildup at the molecular level and prevents reaccumulation entirely. Neither solution generates recurring revenue. Neither solution appears in any drain product advertisement. The third substance is coffee grounds. And this one catches homeowners because the grounds look so fine and harmless rinsing out of a French press. Coffee grounds do not dissolve in water. Not partially, not slowly, not ever. They pass through your drain opening intact, settle at every curve, dip, and junction in the pipe, and pack together like wet sand into a dense sludge that water pressure alone cannot dislodge. What makes coffee grounds catastrophic is their affinity for grease. Even a thin film of grease residue on the pipe wall, which virtually every kitchen drain has, acts as an adhesive surface that coffee grounds bond to on contact. Layer by layer, the combination of grease and compacted grounds creates a blockage so dense that even professional drain machines struggle to clear it completely. A garbage disposal does not help. The grounds are already smaller than anything the disposal can process. They pass straight through and into the pipe where the real damage begins. Service calls for coffee ground clogs run $150 to $500. The solution is free. Grounds go in the trash or the compost bin, never in the drain. The fourth substance is flour and starchy foods, and this is the one nobody talks about because flour looks like it should dissolve. It does not dissolve, it becomes paste. Think about what happens when you mix flour with water. You get a thick, sticky, adhesive slurry. That is exactly what forms inside your drain pipe every time you rinse a cutting board after rolling dough, wash a mixing bowl coated in batter, or clean your hands after breading anything. The paste coats the pipe interior, hardens as it dries, and creates an adhesive layer that traps everything else passing through the drain. Pasta and rice are equally destructive for a different reason. Both continue absorbing water and expanding long after cooking. Leftover pasta dumped down the drain swells inside the pipe, presses against the walls, and forms a soft plug that compounds with every subsequent flush. Potato peels slip past garbage disposal blades without being cut, then form a starchy film that coats the drain line downstream. Mashed potatoes are essentially thick paste entering your pipes directly. Starch-related clogs cost $150 to $600 to clear professionally, and compacted starch deposits often require hydrojetting because mechanical snaking cannot break through the hardened paste. A $2 sink strainer catches every particle before it reaches the pipe. The strainer costs less than 1% of the plumber's visit it prevents. The fifth substance is paint and solvents, and this is the one that surprises homeowners because rinsing brushes in the sink after a painting project feels completely normal. Latex paint is water-based, which creates the illusion that it is safe for drains. It is not. Latex paint contains binders, pigments, and chemical additives that do not break down in water. They flow into the drain, coat the pipe walls, and harden into a film that builds with every project. After a few painting sessions, dried paint narrows the pipe from the inside, the same way grease does. Except paint deposits are harder and more resistant to any chemical or mechanical treatment. Oil-based paints and solvents like paint thinner, turpentine, and mineral spirits are in a different category entirely. These substances attack rubber gaskets and seals inside plumbing connections, causing leaks. They degrade PVC pipe over time. And for homeowners on septic systems, solvents kill the beneficial bacteria the septic tank depends on to process waste. A full septic system failure costs $10,000 or more to repair. Pouring paint and solvents down drains is also illegal in most states, with fines ranging from several hundred to several $1,000s. Clean latex brushes in a bucket, let the paint settle, pour off the clear water outdoors, and trash the solids. Oil-based products go to hazardous waste collection, never down any drain. If you have made it this far, you already understand more about what destroys residential plumbing than 99% of homeowners and most hardware store employees selling drain cleaning products. Subscribe and share this with someone who poured bacon grease down the sink this morning and has a bottle of chemical drain cleaner under the cabinet waiting to finish the job. Now, what I just walked you through eliminates every drain clog before it starts. But drain maintenance is one bill out of dozens that most households are overpaying every single month. I put together a complete protocol covering 80 hacks just like this one, each one replacing an expensive product or service with something that costs almost nothing. Households running the full system are saving over $4,000 a year. The link is in the description. But stay right here because what comes next explains why the plumbing industry needs you to keep making these mistakes. Now stay with me because this is the part they really do not want you to hear. The professional drain cleaning industry operates on the most elegant recurring revenue model in home maintenance. A drain slows. The homeowner calls a plumber. The plumber clears the blockage for $150 to $500. 6 to 12 months later, the grease is reaccumulated because the homeowner never stopped pouring it down the drain. The drain slows again. The plumber returns. The cycle repeats for the entire duration of homeownership. No plumber on any service call has ever handed the customer a list of 5 substances and said, "Stop pouring these, and you will never need me again." The branded drain product industry operates on the identical model applied to retail. An $8 bottle of chemical cleaner partially clears the blockage. The drain flows. The grease rebuilds. The drain slows. The customer buys another bottle. Each application damages the pipe slightly more, creating the corrosion and joint weakness that eventually requires the $2,000 to $5,000 repair that completes the revenue cycle. $50 billion a year in global plumbing maintenance revenue depends on homeowners continuing to pour 5 substances down their drains and reaching for branded products that address the symptom without preventing the cause. Every service call, every bottle of chemical cleaner, every recurring drain appointment exists because 5 behaviors were never corrected at the source. The knowledge is not proprietary. Roman military kitchens dissolved grease from drainage channels with alkaline ash water in 150 AID. Victorian commercial kitchens flush pipes with washing soda dissolved in boiling water as standard nightly protocol throughout the 1800s. The Oregon State University Extension Service recommends monthly washing soda maintenance as the primary preventive measure for residential grease buildup. The chemistry has been documented, proven, and publicly available for 2,000 years. What costs a homeowner $600 per year in drain products and service calls costs a household that understands these 5 substances approximately $2 per year in washing soda and 30 seconds of effort per month. The entire $50 billion drain cleaning industry exists in the gap between those two numbers. You cannot patent the knowledge that grease solidifies in pipes. You cannot trademark the observation that coffee grounds do not dissolve. You cannot build a subscription service around the fact that flour becomes paste. And you cannot sustain a $50 billion industry when the homeowner understands that 5 kitchen behaviors cause 90% of all residential drain blockages, and that all 5 are completely avoidable. I need to be honest about the limitations because credibility matters. These 5 behaviors cause the overwhelming majority of kitchen drain blockages, but they do not account for every plumbing issue. Tree root intrusion into sewer laterals, pipe bellying from soil settlement, and corroded cast iron in pre-1960s. Homes are structural problems that require professional intervention regardless of what you pour down your drain. If your drain problems persist after eliminating these 5 substances and maintaining a monthly washing soda flush, the issue is structural, and a camera inspection by a licensed plumber is the appropriate next step. Now here's your complete prevention protocol. Stop pouring grease. Cool it, scrape it, trash it. Wipe pans with a paper towel before washing. Stop using chemical drain cleaners. Replace them with a $20 drain snake for active clogs and a monthly washing soda flush for prevention. Stop rinsing coffee grounds down the drain. Trash them or compost them. Stop sending flour, pasta, rice, and potato waste into the drain. Scrape plates and bowls into the trash before washing. Use a $2 sink strainer. Stop rinsing paint in the sink. Clean brushes in a bucket, settle the solids, and dispose of them properly. For monthly maintenance, pour 2 tablespoons of washing soda into the kitchen drain, followed by 1 liter of boiling water before bed. The alkaline solution saponifies any trace grease that accumulated during the month, converting it to a water-soluble soap that flushes away with the morning's first water use. Total annual cost, under $2. Total annual effort, 6 minutes. A homeowner in suburban Cincinnati had been calling the same plumber twice per year for slow kitchen drains for over a decade, spending approximately $400 per visit. After eliminating the 5 substances and adopting the monthly washing soda protocol, the plumber received no service call from that address for over 3 years. The homeowner's total drain maintenance cost during that period was approximately $4 in washing soda. The plumber would have collected $2,400 during the same period for a problem that 5 behavioral changes and a $2 annual treatment eliminated permanently. The chemistry inside that $8 bottle of drain cleaner generates 200-degree heat that corrodes your pipes while partially clearing the blockage. The product will be repurchased to address again next month. The chemistry inside a $3 box of washing soda converts pipe grease into water-soluble soap through alkaline hydrolysis at the molecular level, and the same reaction Roman military cooks used in 150 AD and Victorian kitchen managers applied as standard protocol for 100 years. One requires a recurring purchase cycle and accelerates pipe damage with every use. The other requires 2 tablespoons and 30 seconds once a month. $50 billion in annual plumbing maintenance revenue depends on you never learning the 5 substances that cause 90% of residential drain blockages. $8 bottles of chemical drain cleaner depend on you believing that a slow drain requires a chemical reaction hot enough to warp PVC. And $500 service calls depend on you never asking the plumber why the same drain clogs every 6 months even though he cleared it last time. This knowledge did not disappear because it stopped working. It disappeared from the consumer awareness because it worked too completely and cost too little for anyone to build a service industry around it. Alkaline hydrolysis does not care about service contracts. Saponification does not negotiate with franchise billing. And a box of washing soda has never charged a licensing fee. If this video changed how you think about the grease in your frying pan, the chemical cleaner under your sink, or the 5 kitchen habits that have been feeding a $50 billion industry one slow drain at a time, then subscribe and share it now. Every single share puts this knowledge in front of someone the plumbing industry assumed would keep pouring and keep calling forever. And every subscription keeps this channel digging deeper into the secrets they thought were sealed forever. The full protocol with all 80 hacks is in the description. Everything the industry buried in one place.